and welcome to an all-new exciting episode of King's Arena podcast, brought to you by Devon Kings, makers of Devon Kings Oil, Devon Kings Margarine, and Devon Kings Seasoning. As promised, this season is packed with so many exciting topics, new guests, a new studio, as you guys can see. The only thing that's the same around here is me, your host. My name is Mary Colette. And yes, let's meet our guests. First of all, I'd like to introduce you guys to this person. She's an influencer, she's an actor, a body positive activist.
Yeah.
We have Mona Lisa Steven.
Hi
girl.
everyone. How you doing?
I'm good.
You're looking so beautiful, by the way.
So are you.
Thank you.
Do you know, let me confess, I did a little stalking. Yes, okay. I stalked you. And I saw that you were on Arise TV recently talking about your how you're advocating for body positivity, just promoting people embracing the body that they're in. Do you want to tell us more about that?
Well, I feel body positivity is very important. You need to be positive in your body. You need to accept and love your skin and be very comfortable despite the beauty standard that everybody's trying so hard to fit in. So apart from that, people are actually getting depressed, taking their own lives just because of what you're saying to them. Yeah. So it is very, very important that we know that we need to stop body shaming and bullying.
Yes.
So I'm doing a great job.
You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
I'm glad you mentioned beauty standards because they're definitely standards that everybody's trying to fit into these days. Everybody's trying to look like Kim Kardashian, trying to look like their favorite celebrities, but it just doesn't work that way.
It's not.
Happy to have you here.
Thank you.
I also have... This person is a friend of mine, actually, and I'm so happy that he's here with me because I know the conversation is just going to be amazing. He is a media enthusiast, a radio host. He's been in this business for over a decade, guys. Wow. If you guys don't know, that is 10 whole years. Yeah. And if you live in Abuja, there is no way you don't know EDK.
Hey, MC, how are you?
EDK.
It's really good to be here.
It's good to have you here. I'm fine.
It's fantastic. We love it. And I can't wait to get into it.
Same. 10 years.
I don't know where all that time went. One moment, I'm an intern at a uni in a radio station in my hometown in Benin City. The next thing, 10 years later, I'm in Abuja. I'm broadcasting to millions of people across the country as well once a week. I've done the business in Nairobi for a bit, in Joburg. It's been a wild ride.
Seasoned.
Seasoned. You make me sound old.
Seasoned. No, that's the thing. I feel like the narrative that you have to be old to be seasoned is so yesterday.
I agree.
Yeah, because we're starting our careers early now.
I agree.
We're retiring at the age of 40.
Rich
and retired at the age of 40. That's the goal.
Yes.
That is the goal.
I like that very much.
Yes.
I like that very much. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anyway, now that, all the formalities are out the way, let's get personal.
Okay.
Yes, I hope you guys don't mind. I mean, you can't even mind. Why are you here?
I didn't sign a waiver. Just so we're sure.
You didn't sign anything. So you're going to talk to me. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about relationships. Let's start with you, Mona Lisa. How's that going? What's that about? Single,
it's not going well.
It's not going well.
So for me, I just wanted to I feel like relationship is can distract you from the main thing. So if you're not ready mentally, physically, emotionally to go into it, don't start. I feel like right now I'm not ready.
So what is the main thing?
Your goal, your dream, your future.
You don't think you can have both?
I have tried and it didn't end well. So I feel for me as a person, I'm someone that is very emotional when I'm in a relationship. I'm all about my guy. I want to see him win and all that. So I've been doing that. It's not working well for me. So I just want to focus on me right now.
Okay. That's actually valid. That's actually valid. And you, EDK, how's that,
Oh, it's going very well.
Oh, that's amazing.
I can't even front. I'm having the best time ever. So, I think I like the idea of companionship. Yeah. And I think when you are able to find that in someone that's, meaningful and someone that gets you and you guys are great.
Yeah.
Share the same goals because at a certain age, it's beyond just vibes.
Yeah. Exactly.
You have to share the same goals, have future plans together. And I think I like it so far.
You do?
I do, yes.
Okay, awesome. So I want to ask, do you guys, do you go into relationships with expectations?
Yes.
Yes. What are some of those expectations?
Well, for me, you have to be responsible towards me, my job, and my life. You need to respect me. you need to be able to hold yourself as a man. Because I used to date with self-purpose before. So I could just say, oh, okay, you like me, let's go on a date. I don't want to care if you're giving me money or anything. Just be responsible, just have sense.
Yeah.
But it's beyond that right now. So, and I think it's okay for you to go into a relationship expecting things, yes.
Yeah. Okay. What about you? Are there certain things you expect?
Yeah, I think for everybody to just be on the same wavelength. You know, like you said, have sense. It's very important.
Yeah.
Don't move mad. You know, let's all behave ourselves here.
Yeah.
But obviously, there are conversations that will be had at the start of relationships between partners. This is what we expect of each other. You know, if we're not open, don't open it.
Yeah.
You know, if we're closed, let it be there.
Yeah.
Don't step out.
Yeah.
If I don't have to. Those other things. So yes, you do go in with certain expectations and hope that they're met.
Yeah, they're met. And I mean, it's the same for me as well. And I feel like there's even, there are times when, in my situation, I went in with expectations. And there's certain things that I didn't even know that I wanted. That, it was in the course of the relationship that I realized, you know what? I like this. I don't mind, adding this to my list of things that I want. But yeah, I feel like there's standard expectations for us women. And that's why I'm happy that, we have, there's a guy, there's a girl, so we can all talk about, okay, so for me, for instance, I have an expectation that if I'm with you, like, there has to be stability. There has to be where your next meal is coming from. Like, I need to know what you do. Like, okay, I make X amount of money.
Yeah.
I do so and so. I can't be with, say, someone who just goes with the flow. Like this month you have money, next month you don't.
In this economy, that's risky. That's risky. No. But yes, I think so. And then, to your point, the money conversation is always the toughest, isn't it?
Yes.
But yes, usually, in the way things generally move, a guy would most likely move to a girl and ask, and it's within everybody's rights to say, so yeah, you're moving to me and you like me and so on.
What do you do? Yeah, what do you bring to the table?
What's happening there at the end of the month? There are things that I should expect that you do for me.
Yeah.
On my birthday, how big do you want to go? On Valentine's Day, how wild do you want to take it?
Valid.
Am I expecting a ring in 12 months to 40 and so on? Those things.
Exactly.
But you do want people to make sure that their intent's absolutely clear and the lines and then that they're drawn between partners. But it's totally okay to have very important, because the money conversation, we play a lot, but let's not play with that.
Okay. So how do we then differentiate between expectations and entitlement? Because you know how I expect something.
Yeah.
On my birthday, I expect there to be a birthday gift at the very least.
Yeah.
And I mean, I expect you to take me out on my birthday. I expect certain things to be done. On Valentine's Day, I'm going to need a Valentine's Day present. I'm going to need you to say, okay, I want to do my hair. I'm going to need you to take care of that. Now, at what point does this become entitlement?
Okay, entitlement is complicated.
How? Okay.
At one point in our lives, each and every one of us, I feel like I'm entitled to this person. I used to hate my uncle growing up because then he got, my mother, he got to the US, started making it big. And I'm wondering, why didn't my uncle try to help me? And for years, I actually hated my uncle for that. Then growing up, I figured, wait, I do not owe him anything.
Yes.
It's in his place if you feel like, I want to my cousin on my knees. That's his business. So I feel like we all at one point in our life, I feel like I need to be entitled to this. Okay, in a relationship, for example, if a guy is asking me out and let's have a date, it's expected for you to give me my cab money. It's not because I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I'm obviously not hungry. I'm fed well.
Yeah.
But I feel like you are inviting me on a date. You should be able to pay for something. That doesn't mean I can't pay for myself.
Yeah.
I can also get there and you're about to be like, I'll get the bill. But I should know that you can
take care of
take care of me.
The bill,
There are a lot of women. I'm not saying that there are women everywhere. So I feel men should just go with the ones that could fit their budget. I mean, there's no way. Yeah. It's the fact.
Yeah.
Because don't come around telling me, it's a poverty mental. No. I'm a woman. There's some kind of guy that I want to date. There's some kind of guy I don't want to date. Because I feel like Janice said, I have what I'm looking for. And if you don't fit into it, it's not insult. It's not. It doesn't mean that you're less of a person. It just means I have a standard. I have a class I want to stay on. And if you don't belong there, I don't think you have to force yourself. Some men will you're not earning more than 50K in a month. You want to date women like Genevieve. Let's respect ourselves. go that fits your budget.
Yeah.
So there will not be problem of, someone is, making me feel bad about myself. So yes, I feel the line is very thin. The line is very thin, but as a person, you should respect yourself.
Exactly.
I was telling my friends that telling people not to come to your space doesn't mean that you are being proud. You need to respect yourself as a person. You need to know what you're expecting.
Yeah.
And they have to be men.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah. There's someone for everybody. And
And I totally agree and that's why it's important. I think one of the things that we shy away from when we get into relationships is having difficult conversations.
Yes.
People just go, I like you like me, let's go on a date, let's eat nice food, go to nice restaurants, take nice pictures, we're on the gram now, we're holding hands, we're doing PDA, we're traveling together. But at the end of the day, like you mentioned, if you state clearly from the start, look, on my birthday, I don't want, I don't want a purse. I want if you can afford a Birkin, get me one.
Yeah.
On Valentine's Day, I like to be flown out. That's what I want. I think if you have those sort of conversations at the start, then people don't get confused. It's in the assumptions. It's in the, but she's walking too now. She hold her side. Why would she expect me to show up? Everything. And some men, I'd give it to them. Some men are like that. Some men would be like, she can bring 50 to the table, I bring 50 to the table. She get.
Yeah.
But I'm also of the opinion that there's I'm very open-minded, right?
Yeah.
But there are certain conservative ideals that I like.
Okay.
And that's like in certain parts of the relationship, especially when it comes to taking care of a partner, the man, it needs to be the man.
Exactly.
You have to step up.
But there aren't that many men who think that way anymore.
So I don't know if it's because they don't think that way.
Or they fellow men.
I'm dead.
They are. What do women bring to the table? Women do not need to bring anything to the table anymore. It's 2023.
Yeah,
if you are not, if you don't like it, go date your fellow men.
Oh my God.
A woman gave birth to that person that made that table. So what else you want from women?
Exactly.
No, so it's in conversations like that. There are partners who, earn very well by themselves, and then when they come together, they're a force. But they're just certain things that, as a guy, let's say it's a birthday, it's a landmark birthday, it's 25th, maybe 21st if you did that young, 30th, if that's where you are.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's go to an island for this birthday. I believe in creating really core memories. With partners, landmark memories that you say, oh man, I remember when we started dating, we used to go, those things are important. Yes, they cost money. And like she's mentioned, yes, it's great to have a bit of yours and you're able to do those things. But it all begins from having the tough conversations at first. So that if you as a woman, you have an expectation from your partner to fly you out for your birthday, and even though the man earns a decent living, because that you can't buy 2 tickets for 2 of you to go to the Seychelles, for example.
Yeah.
And you can go to maybe somewhere in Benin Republic.
Yes.
And he can tell you, look, I can't do the Seychelles or the Maldives. I can't do Casa de Papa.
Yeah.
Do you get?
Yeah.
And if you're cool with that, I believe in compromise. I believe in conversations. I think a lot of the stress that we face, and like you said, it's a thin line. But a lot of the stress that we face is because we don't talk.
We don't communicate. Yeah. I agree. And we were having a conversation outside, and you said something about how sometimes when these expectations are met, the other party expects something in return 9 times out of 10. If I'm taking you out, every other day, I'm footing your bill. Then the men, for instance, feel like they then have the right to tell you when and when not to go out.
No.
If you're going out to see your friends, you have to be back at 8. Or if I'm doing all this for you, then
she's laughing. She's laughing like, who's going to try me? Who's about to try me?
If he's doing all that for you, you don't think he's well within his rights to tell you okay, I don't want you going out to see your friends, or
it's strange to me the way you say, because I'm not in a prison. I'm in a relationship. You cannot. I know I don't have to disrespect you. I will never disrespect you, or try to do something that you know like. But telling me of who to be with, when to go, I ain't having that shit.
So you don't think that's an expectation? Because you could call it an expectation. Do you? So you think that's entitlement?
There's a lot I'm giving already.
Okay.
Because coming to me, you already know I'm a content creator. They can call me 2 a.m. and let's shoot, and I have to be there.
And if he says you can't go out at 2 a.m.,
then that means it's not for me, because he needs to know that my dreams are valid and I have a target, and he needs to work with me. So if he's not doing that, then I don't think we should be a thing.
Okay.
Yes.
So I get that, and because we were having that conversation just outside, and I said, And the thing was, when you mentioned that some men give their partners an allowance.
Allowance, yes.
Which is great. I think it's great that, you know.
It is, isn't it? Who doesn't want an allowance?
I would like an allowance, but it's very unlikely that I get one.
You already get your salary. What more do you
Oh,
want?
wow.
Yes.
I don't deserve an allowance.
You can take 10% out of the salary and give your babe as allowance.
So I don't mind that.
Okay.
But I was speaking really in the context of the sort of socio-cultural constructs that exist, especially in the society we live in. Let's face it, all right? The sort of men that are likely to put their partners on an allowance of $500,000 at the end of the month. You saw yourself. You want new clothes? Sure. Go crazy, right?
Okay.
They will have expectations that may, at some point, cross over into them being entitled. And it's hard to blame them. And then they say, oh, yeah. So if, for example, you work in an office and you and your colleague are going to go over a pitch at lunch, and then you say, hey, babe, you know, let me use a Yoruba guy's name. Femi and I, you know, are going to go. Femi and I are going to go to lunch for this. Yeah. If that guy is loaded and that guy knows a few Femis, they'll be like, Femi is actually not concerned about you. You can't hang out with Femi. Now, to the woman, like you mentioned, that's not fair. It's work. But surely you can see from his perspective why he'd have those sort of fears and therefore impose, if you like, those sort of restrictions on your lifestyle.
I don't see why.
Oh, come on, MCU.
Yeah,
I don't.
Because they believe women in entertainment are wayward but they won't really want to believe you're going to shoot at 2 a.m. They don't understand. If you're not in entertainment, you don't understand.
So there's lots of insecurity
you need to, yes,
in our society amongst men. Very fragile egos.
Okay.
Right? I'm a man, so I can tell you. I've been through a phase as well, right? So it's a thing where if a man decides, I'm supplying your every need, there's some subservience that's expected, right? That's why we have to be careful to manage the expectations. And it's really hard to argue against it as a woman. Now, if you have strong-willed women who say, no, like you mentioned, okay, maybe you're not for me. But there are very few women who get free $500,000 a month who wouldn't then consider, do I really need to hang out with them?
I mean...
Like, can we do this thing via Teams or Zoom? Do we need to go out? What is really there?
I feel like that shouldn't now be dependent on the fact that, it's because you're giving me money.
But some women are.
It's an expectation.
I can understand that you don't want me to go out. Fine. But it shouldn't now be like a thing where, okay, I say, you say I shouldn't go out. And I say, I have to. And I say I'm going to. And then you start bringing up stuff like, after all I've done for you, I give you money, I do this and I do that for you and all that jazz. And I'm telling you to sit down, I tell you not to go out, and you're not going to go out. I feel like that is where entitlement comes in.
Yes.
I agree.
Because you feel like, now because you give me allowance of $500K every month, which, I mean, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing, thank you. But that doesn't mean you own my time and my free will.
I agree. But then he says, I'm cutting you off.
Then
cut me off. I mean, I'm gonna miss the money, but
I mean, what I can get
is having a meal.
Yeah.
It's having a meal. Or for that you don't have to work for. You just have to be in love.
EDK, if we're talking, how much is really half a meal in this day and time? In dollars. Do you get in dollars? It's not up to $1,000.
We know the Nigeria we're living in. It's not a lot of people pulling $500,000 just for doing nothing.
Just for doing nothing.
Come on
yes,
now.
I get you. But I feel like the point where it gets to entitlement, because we said it in the beginning, there's a very, very thin line.
I agree.
Yeah, you expect, that I respect you to an extent. I respect your opinion. So your opinion is that I shouldn't go out with Femi.
Yep.
I respect your opinion, but I want to go out with Femi. And I feel like where it crosses to entitlement is where you now where you feel like, because of what you've done for me. And that also happens with parents as well. Parents feel like, I've done this and I've done that for you. I sacrificed and I did this for you. You have to do anything I want you to do. And that's why you find situations where like a lot of children and their parents, they don't see eye to eye.
Yeah. So resentment.
Resentment towards their parents. Parents resentment towards their children because they feel like they gave their lives for their children and now their children don't want them. Mona Lisa, you seem to have something to say about that.
It's hard because this parent, imagine, I used to be like that before, but then I just put myself in my parents' shoes. Like my mom, for example, my dad died when I was 1. My mom had to take 6 of us by herself. It was really crazy. So imagine that woman been through a lot and You think I don't hold her the word?
Yeah.
There are people that helped you grow. You didn't get here by yourself. Someone put in word for you at some point of time. You hold those people.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about people that they gave you their time and their money. Mm-hmm. I feel like you hold them.
Mm-hmm.
You hold them. You have to pay them back. Unlike people that have not done anything but they want to get from you that. But your parents, you hold your parents.
Okay.
You hold your parents. Because they're going to be a parent one day too, and I'm not saying that because you should die for me as a parent, but you hold your parents. Yeah. You hold them that good life when you're made, you hold them like the world, because they did a lot for you, you know.
Yeah, totally. Because in our society, it's parents make, I think, sometimes even more sacrifices than they need to be honest, just because our system doesn't, there's no welfare, there's no certain things that would make it easier. There are no cheap schools that are good. So they have to raise all this money. Do you know what it costs to send a kid to primary school now?
Yeah.
Great. That's why I'm going to have just the one. Right.
I'm not going to have any.
You don't want to have any kids.
Hey, it's tough. Because to imagine, like she mentioned, there's 6 kids.
6, I know.
Got to give them an education.
I know.
Because my dad always tell me this, we may not see eye to eye on a bunch of things, but at least I owe you an education. At least you owe your kid an education.
Yeah.
And really good education is not cheap.
It's not cheap.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So yes, do we owe our parents a degree? Yeah. Are they therefore entitled to, our time in their old age and blackmailing us and like I will soon die after all I did for you? To be honest, it's the game.
It's the game.
And they're good at it, so play it.
I could argue that and say that, I agree that yes, there's certain things that your parents, and I feel like they expect, which is not a bad thing because you're their kid.
Yeah.
That's understandable. Like they expect you to do certain things. But then I feel like it's the point where you now feel like you're entitled to, I don't know.
Man, they're your parents though.
They're your parents. See, there is this thing about like some parents do, which doesn't necessarily sit well with me, where they see their children as their retirement plan.
I agree.
And that's something I would never do as a parent.
Bad. I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't.
I would never do
I'm
that.
going to have my thing, right? You have your thing. If you want to do
Give
for
me,
me,
that's a plus.
sure. Right?
That's a plus.
I feel like where the problem is when you now feel like you have to. When the child isn't doing it for them, they're cussing the child out. They're saying, they're doing stuff. They're going to the child. It's like...
So again,
okay,
it's down to talking.
Okay.
It really is. You have to, I know they're your parents, but look, if you're a certain age and you pull a certain amount of money, there's only so much they can tell you.
Okay.
You don't live under their roof. They don't really give you anything. And in fact, the relationship has sort of been reversed. They need you a little bit more now.
Yeah.
You can have the conversation, look, because black tax is heavy. So you need to have the conversation that, look, beyond this amount a month, I know get on. I know, see, if you bleed me now, it's not, one kobo is not coming.
DK, do you know that our parents are one of the hardest people to communicate with?
Yeah.
Do you know? Because our parents, what they think, what they know is what they know. You can't tell them anything else. Trying to
That's
tell
the
them,
challenge you should take up.
But...
I know because I'm saying this because these are things that I've done, right?
Okay.
And it's not going to be we're making sense. It's not going to be civil. It may not even be civil.
Yeah.
It may be you're mad. Are you you're talking to me, your father, mother like that? What is wrong with you? I brought you, I'll take you out. Those are the things.
Yeah.
But you must have it. Because really, at that point, they can't really take you out. Let's be honest, right? They can't pick up a cane and flog you. You're earning money now. You probably even... Because you have to tell them, look, if you're interested in starting a family, I've got a plan for that. I have a partner that I have to look after. If a kid comes along, I have to pay school fees, right? If I spend all of that money sorting you out in your old age, it'd be great if you set up something for them that sort of got them monthly stuff or whatever. But for them to think they're entitled forever and ever as they retire, have that conversation.
But from our conversation now, it seems like I feel like it is clear that our parents are the one people that have the right to feel entitled in our lives.
Yeah.
Right?
And I look forward to being a parent and feeling entitled to my kids. Oh yeah.
Okay, tell me.
Okay, for me, I don't want to have.
Oh yeah, you said you didn't want to have kids, which I respect, by the way.
But I feel your parents deserve like a lot.
Yeah.
You need to, but they shouldn't see that like you said, like a retirement plan. It's really bad because even with the way Nigeria is going, the economy, you need to have something to do as a person. Your kids are not your retirement plan.
I agree.
Yeah.
You need to have your future plans for yourself.
Yeah.
So I feel like our parents are actually entitled to it.
At 60, I expect my kid to buy me a Mercedes. It's simple. I'm entitled to that.
That is a huge entitlement.
Do you know how much education costs?
The Mercedes, it won't be that year Mercedes. You know?
I mean...
And I hope that I would have equipped them. Listen, I hope that I would have equipped them with the education and the opportunities in life to be able to sort of take a small Mercedes.
Small Mercedes.
For my 60th now. So I can have grey hair and be cruising Lagos.
I hear you. I hear you. But now let's now talk about what gender you think wears the crown when it comes to entitlement.
That shiny crown. Man, it's tough to say.
It is, isn't it?
I feel like
It's bold.
I feel like it's a balance. So like we've sort of established at the start of this conversation, in certain dynamics, certain relationship dynamics, the man's entitled to your time, your affection, your body, because he provides certain things. And the woman goes in and say, I expect this, therefore I'm entitled to some, benefits, financial or otherwise, right? So it's a bit of both. I do feel that society sort of games it against the men because...
do they?
Sort of. I'll explain why.
Okay.
So generally, men are brought up to have certain expectations of how they should be perceived and how things should work in a certain way for them. It's a term like that, I think it's misogyny, right? Or the patriarchy.
Yeah.
It's heavy. Am I a beneficiary? Unwittingly.
Of course you
I didn't intend to, but it just so happens that I live in a society that patriarchy is strong, right?
Yeah.
So that happens. I think if you look at it through that angle, you see that it's a little skewed towards the men, having maybe a bit of a crown and the women having the tiara. But I do feel.
So you think the men wear the crown in this case?
Maybe it's a small little crown, but I do feel that it's equal. It really depends on personal relationship dynamics. But I don't think that the women's head they're bare. They have their tiara or big crown too. So it just depends on the level that we're going to.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, I think, there's a balance. Sometimes, like you said, it's due to experience and the people you are interacting with, especially against siblings. Your brother would think because you are the female and you're making, then you should be able to provide for them or their families. That is wrong.
You're not their mother.
Your siblings, we need to talk about siblings feeling entitled to your money.
Oh, yeah. They're siblings as well.
I'm not your mama.
No, but that's the thing. Even your parents think you should take care of yourself.
And you tell them, I'm not their mom. If you couldn't take care of these kids, you didn't need to bring them in. You see, you brought me in.
Yeah.
I went outside myself out and I can give you a little something.
Just that one child that is expected to take care of the
But the argument is, but that's your brother, but that's your sister.
You're good. They have legs, they have hands, they have a brain, they have an education, or they can learn.
What if
you can't say that?
You said?
You can't say that to your parents.
No, I can't. You can have that conversation. No, again, these conversations are not. I don't expect them to be fun.
African parents that think you're rude.
I'm telling you.
Let me tell you, the thing I've learned with parents, especially with old age, a lot of them in old age get really circumspect. All right? When they're a little younger, you notice this now in how if you have a family where there are a lot of kids, the first kid they don't have the manual yet.
Yeah, automatic.
Second kid, but by the fourth, the manual has been loaded. They know how to deal with the kids. So when you get older, those conversations, even if you think it's tough for them, they then really begin to think, because in my experience, for example, I don't assume that when my dad left uni, he could get a mortgage, he could get a car loan, he could get all these things. I don't have access to those things.
Yeah.
Very rarely do young people in Nigeria buy a car brand new with everything on the... You have to buy... what do you call it? Imported from America, fairly used, Nigerian, those sort of things. So those sort of things have to be taken into consideration. The state of the economy just doesn't allow you to support all of your siblings. They have to go out.
So I think
get it.
The expectation or the entitlement is definitely heavy from our parents' angle. But because we've been trained and we've been brought up to, I don't know if it's because even, do you think this even happens in the Western world where, because I feel like it's very African, where you are brought up to, even when you are small, your parents are already telling you, when you grow up, you buy me a car.
Yes.
When you grow up, you buy me a house. You buy for your mommy. You buy the small one for your daddy. So you're already, it's already in you. It's in your brain that you have to do this, that, and the third for your parents and your siblings. So it's heavy when it comes to that.
But if you can't, they won't kill you.
True.
That, honestly speaking.
But I feel like there are some parents that is actually, they harm on their kids that you have to get them those.
They will shame you.
Where you get the money that you have to get those.
Which is
that's
sad.
Really bad.
Which is really sad.
Yeah.
But I keep saying this. If you can't, they will not
They
kill
won't.
you.
See,
It's not easy. They'll have a Benz at 22.
Do you know what I mean?
exactly.
Do you know
Why
what I
didn't
mean?
you get the car for yourself?
Listen, do you get what I mean? So yeah, when I said it in a bit in jest a bit when I said, oh, my 60th birthday. I mean, the Benz is going to be part of the cars that I already have.
You already have.
It's just a thing of,
Exactly.
Daddy, I appreciate
Just
you.
make you proud.
Enjoy.
I feel like, see, I'm very, very happy to be a part of the generation because I feel like we're very much exposed.
Yeah.
We're very self-taught because most of the things we know now aren't things that our parents told
Yeah.
us. None of that.
They're hiding
They're
it.
not things that we learned in
Yeah.
school.
Exactly.
We had to learn these things by ourselves. And I feel like we are definitely going to make so much better parents
Yes.
in the sense that, we're not entitled to, we're not treating our kids like, yeah, I'm training this child because, when
Like
I'm
a-
old,
yes.
who will take care of me?
Yes.
When I'm old, I'm going to have...
Like an investment.
Exactly. I would be taken care of.
Yeah.
And as far as like what gender wears the crown, I agree with you, EDK, and you, Mona Lisa, as well, when you say I think it's evenly... Like, it's definitely balanced.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I disagree with you in the sense that I feel like people say, because it's very easy to say, women, what do women want? Women want this, women want that, but there is not enough emphasis on what men also request and feel entitled to in relationships. There's so many things. Men like to say, we like to be treated like babies,
So don't I like to be treated like baby as
Exactly,
well?
like he has to treat me like a baby. Just baby.
Who's going to be the grown-up?
I want to be a baby too.
Exactly.
I want to
Fine.
be. I deserve to be treated like a baby, like a princess, like
I
a
agree.
princess baby. How about that?
That is new.
Okay. Men, they want to be entitled to your time.
Yeah.
True.
When it even comes to body, I don't even really agree with that because I feel like when it comes to body, say we are both getting from each other. It's not a thing of you're entitled to my body. I was entitled to your body, but
Nah.
no, because
That's because you want me.
no, but you want him too.
No, but you want me. That's
you-
why you came up
but
to
you
like,
want-
But you want him too.
Because why would you be with him
yes.
otherwise?
No, because
Because
I'm talking of like when you guys end up being together. Though.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys want each other at that point.
I was a bit scared for a moment there. What's really going on?
No, because I think it's a give and take now. Because when
Yes,
people say,
yes.
he used me, what I'm like, y'all used each other. It was a give and take situation. Come on, let's not act like, he wants but you want him too. We want each other. But yeah, back to what I was saying, like the expectations from men as well. They're just certain, and like you said, the misogyny, the things that they've been trained to believe that, if this woman, as a woman, if you're in my house, you must cook for me, you must sweep the floor. I've seen stuff where they say, this girl didn't wake up until 2
Have
p.m.
manners.
She doesn't have manners. She didn't wake up to
Have manners.
sleep. You'll be hearing things like that. Like the entitlement is strong.
It is.
Yeah, like-
And there is not enough like conversation on the entitlement that men have towards women. It's
have a
always,
lot.
women, they want
Women,
money,
yes.
they want this, they want that. But what about men?
I mean, it's like I said, some men do have that. And I hope that, and I wanted to say that some men with some level of education and exposure would not have that, but even people with the best education.
some of them
So
still
that's why I said earlier, it's sort of like, because we're in a certain social cultural construct, especially in this part of the world, it's hard to let go. Do you get just like if you've been told you can have your way just because you have a certain kind of genitalia, it's there.
yeah.
It's
It's hard
there.
to
If
just
you know
let it
that
go.
so it takes a lot of self-work. So then that's why it then falls on the individual here. So I'm going to educate myself. I'm going to learn that in a society where there are women or where there are other genders, depending on which part of the world you're in now, that people have certain rights to certain things.
Yes.
And it doesn't make me lord of the manor just because I am this person. So it's a lot of education, a lot of conversations that people need to keep having and learning from.
Yeah. And Mona Lisa, do you think you're ever going to be open? Because I know I heard you when you said, for now, you're not really open to relationships because you're trying to
I don't have a man.
Huh? That doesn't mean,
Man, I mean, you gotta drop the mic for that one. You know what I'm saying? You have to.
I respect it. I respect it.
Come on.
I respect that. You know what? I was about to just start telling you, do you think you're ever going to consider it? I respect that. Guys, we've had the most amazing conversation. Did you guys have fun?
I did.
It's been such a great
Definitely.
conversation,
Loved
guys.
Loved it. Every single
And-
bit of it.
And we've given the crown to both men and women
Yes.
equally.
Yeah.
That they both wear the crown.
But what about
just
friends? Are we not going to talk about friends?
Friends and being entitled.
No, they can get out, man. If you're entitled to my time and my money and you're my friend and I don't get anything from you, then what's that friendship for?
Okay, you know what? Let's talk about it.
Sure. No, sure.
You have a point.
Sure.
Yes.
So, okay, there was one thing I saw. A friend tweeted that on her birthday, she makes a list of people that wished her a happy birthday. And on their birthdays, if you didn't wish her a happy birthday, you're not getting a happy birthday in return.
Yeah. Same thing I did with Tunu and Not. Okay, I love Tunu and Not so much. And I love him. He helps people, and I really commend him for that. But I noticed today not do not wish me a happy birthday. Maybe it's because he's busy.
Okay.
And on his birthday this time, I told him, "Oh yeah, I know you like me. You post my content. I comment on your posts. We like each other, blah. But you need to wish me a happy birthday if you want me to continue wishing you."
Oh.
Yes.
You know, I actually stand a petty queen. I'm with that.
Yeah.
I'm with that. It is petty, but
I like to keep people in my mind. I wish you a birthday all the time. Yeah, and you need to wish me too. If you don't want to wish me, then fine.
Well,
let's just
I don't know that.
Anita Joseph told me on her last birthday. I forgot to because I wasn't even online, and she actually reached out to me that. Do you think you're feeling big? Why are you not wishing me happy birthday? She's like, Mama, she's talking no, I didn't see that. I'm sorry. Then I did. Okay. You have to, if people are not coming out for you, I don't think you need to come out for them too.
Okay.
What's too short for someone to you're there for them all the time and they're not there for you? It's better for you to know you're alone.
That's why I just call people and say happy birthday.
Yes.
That's it.
It's nothing. Come on. You don't have to post their picture. It's just a text.
You don't think it's a bit entitled? That's a bit entitled.
No, but why do you think I should wish you and you don't want to wish me?
But maybe they got busy.
I got busy too.
No,
Everybody
you
can get busy.
You didn't get busy. You remember?
I don't think it's that deep.
You get. Maybe they forgot.
If you're not wishing me, I'm not gonna wish you.
Oh no.
Yes, because everybody's busy.
Hey, God. Okay. I hear you. But
I feel like that's for you to tell people your mind and holding them. Imagine me holding to them not in my mind because he's not wishing me. Why should I? No, I just told him. I appreciate if you wish me on my birthday too. And we both understand that and it's fine.
I mean, your thoughts are your thoughts, and how you feel is how you feel. But I mean, I just don't think it's that serious, and that's probably because I approach friendships without expecting too much, and I think that's just life for me, because I'm the kind of person where if I get disappointed and something doesn't happen the way I want it to happen, it affects me a lot. So instead of getting disappointed, I just would rather not expect too much. And I approach my friendships that way as well. So if it's my birthday and you don't wish me happy birthday, so I'm all right.
And the person is doing 2-3 times over, you still want to be in that friendship?
So I don't know why we're friends and you don't
wish me a happy birthday.
I understand if you forget that day, but the next day, and you're seeing me doing a lot of things on my status, you're watching it.
You can even say, okay.
Maybe
come on.
Because you can say, I forgot, I've had a long day.
I've forgotten people's birthdays too.
Me too.
You forgot mine last year.
Happy birthday to King.
I'll take it.
But I wished you a happy birthday after I came to Abuja now.
I'm talking about 2022's birthday. You didn't wish me happy birthday.
Oh, can you see?
That's where we are.
We're still friends. Happy birthday, okay. Happy birthday, Darius. But you see,
that's just tell them. I would love you to wish me a happy birthday because if I die, you'll be the first person to post it.
So there are definitely entitlements and expectations in friendships for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure. Yeah. And it's crazy because when it comes to friendship, I'm learning so much every day. And one thing that I used to do a lot was I used to be I used to have that mentality of if someone shows you who they are, just cut them off. Don't give them another chance to treat you like dirt. But more and more, as I grow older, I'm realizing that I'm human too, and I mess up sometimes.
Yeah.
It's important to extend some grace.
To people. Yes. Yeah. So I mess up sometimes, and that's why I'm looking at this birthday thing from as well, because I was thinking, because I forget people's birthdays. If you don't wish me a happy birthday, I'm because of that, stop talking to you. What about the other people that I've forgotten their birthday? Did they cut me off?
Just tell them.
Yeah.
Tell them
exactly.
that, my birthday was today. Did you? Oh, I'm sorry. Happy birthday.
Exactly, but you know that there are some friends that will not tell you. They will just keep you in their mind.
That's something's bad.
And
they'll stop doing that. I understand.
They'll stop talking to you.
Tell your friends. Oh, wish me. Ask them, tell them, and let everybody just be.
So, quick question: are these people really your friends, or are they just acquaintances? Because I've had the same set of friends since I was really young.
Okay,
we're in a group together, right? Then in uni, I can say boldly that I made maybe 1 or 2 friends, solid people in my life. Then post-uni, maybe in my work life, and one of them as well. I've made that one friend. We don't speak every day. We live in different cities. When we catch up, it's a vibe. We're checking out on each other's lives and so on. On our birthdays, we go yarn. Even if we forget, it could be 2 days later, it could be, sorry, that kind of thing. Do you get what I mean? But the thing is, with friends, you go always talk.
Yeah.
You always say, my birthday was like last month. They forget, sorry.
Yeah.
But you just don't say, my friend, wish me happy birthday, and you're like, that guy's a dead guy. Then no. I don't think that's true friendship. I don't think that's true friendship.
I think from what we've said so far, it's clear that the best way to handle entitlement is just communication.
True.
Yes.
Like, 100%. If someone expects something from you that you don't even know about, just talk about it. Talk about it. And if it's something you're not comfortable with and you think it's too much, let them know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like if you feel like you're entitled to my time, my money, stuff about me, like, let me know. The moment we talk about it, I'll let you know if I'm comfortable with it. So, because one man's that's too much is another man's, that's okay. That's all right.
Light work.
Yeah, whatever. You want 500K per month? I'll make you 1 million. That's all right. That's okay.
That was very sweet to say.
I wish it was me.
So it's just a communication P, know. But I'm so glad we had this conversation. And we actually got to this point of just resolving it that you just need to talk. Talking will solve a lot of things with your parents, your friends, your partner.
Yes.
Even when you're just dating. Because it is when you talk, when you guys are just starting, that the person knows what to expect, and then they know whether to go into the relationship or not.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So this has been fun, EDK and Mona Lisa.
Thank you,
I
MC.
had such a good time talking to you guys. And it's actually been such an interesting show. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to drop comments in the comments section. Don't forget to like, share with your friends, subscribe. And don't forget, Kings Arena Podcast was brought to you by Devon Kings, the brand that promotes togetherness. I have been your host, Mary Colette. And I'm so excited for this season, and I know that you are too. And looking forward to the next one. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.